Hi guys, and welcome back to my second video talking about figure skating. Hopefully this will be a little better than last time where I had to do two recaps, and also I had to be in school in like 1 hour, and I was definitely 5 minutes late because I talked so much. Um, but yeah, let's start recapping the Grand Prix of Helsinki, and let's start with the ladies. Um, because the ladies were definitely closer to what I predicted than the men's event. Um, at first place, we had Alina Sakirova. Um, Relatively easy pick for first place. However, I don't think I've ever been as shocked as I was when she popped that triple loop at the end of her triple loop combination in her short program. Alina Sakirova making mistakes is not uncommon. I mean, I know she has this reputation of being super consistent. I called her super consistent when I did the last video as well. But we have to remember that in the Grand Prix series, she struggled a lot with her short program last season. Um, but as much as she has struggled even throughout last season with her short program and the free skate at Worlds, I don't think I've ever seen her pop. Um, she usually falls, um, which is usually because she used to have problems with under rotations and her jumps aren't very small. So if she makes like even a little bit of a mistake on her landing, she will fall. But she's usually always round, and I think it was because um, the landing of her triple lutz just did not work out for her. Um, but it's a very very uncommon mistake. Like she's so good at popping triple loops on everything she does. So for her to pop it fully, that was such a shocker to me. And in both the short program and the free skate, she looked very very nervous. You could really see it in her expression. I feel especially in the free skate, I enjoyed her performance in Nebelhorn Trophy much better than I did here, because I actually really like her Carmen. I think it's a really huge step up from her Don Quixote that she did last season, and I think she connects better with the program. I think she's much better. Just, I think she channels that program much better. I feel obviously there's room for improvement, and she should have gotten the program itself. Like the choreography is not the best, but she does really really good with it, and she does really good with the show program as well, considering how bad the music cuts are. But she felt really really unsteady, and she made mistakes in the free skate as well. And she did say in a press conference afterwards, like even though she won, she was not happy with that. Um, and that's understandable because I mean those two scores were a far cry from what her abilities actually are. And you could see she looked absolutely devastated after the show program, and it was only because the people after her also made mistakes that she kept her lead after the short program. Um, Now there were a lot of talk about how the ice conditions were really bad because the ice was very new, and if you've ever skated on ice before, you know that bad ice conditions can do a lot to you. There was a couple of years ago we got a new ice rink out here, and I remember the first the first month or so of that ice, it was really really weird to skate on because you could feel that it was uneven, and it wasn't like it was just laid really weirdly, and you could still, if you skate out there, the place where the Zamboni comes in and out is the worst place to skate. Like I always slow down when I go there because it's not good ice condition. So that might, because the women's short program in general was really really bad. There were so many mistakes from so many people who usually don't make mistakes. So bad ice conditions could definitely have something to do, because if it's just one or two skaters who have a really bad day, then okay, it's just those two skaters. But every single one, we had like two skaters who skated somewhat clean that short program. So yeah, it was really bad. For second place, we had Stanislava Konstantinova. Um, I didn't know much about her. I really did not. She was I'm not gonna say she was bad because she wasn't. She was good and she was enjoyable to watch. I felt like they were, I mean, you could even see like she didn't win. She didn't like, she was fourth in the show program and third in the free skate. Like she didn't have the very best programs, and I'm sure there's much more to come from her. Her second Grand Prix is in France, I think, and I hope to see more of her there. um I feel like there's a lot of room for improvement for her, but I mean, it's with the Russians, there's always like a little bit. I think. I just I hate saying that some people don't deserve, because you did really well, but I think Kaori was way underscored in the free skate. But let's talk about Kaori. Now Kaori is one of my favorite skaters. I mentioned that last time as well. So obviously I'm gonna be a little salty that she did not place a little higher, but she had a horrific show program. I remember when Alina she got her score and it was under 70. I was like, well, Kaori could definitely overtake her now, because she could very, like, even an underscore Kaori can get 70 plus points because she has such a solid technical side. Um, and she fell twice. That's again, Kaori, she's very consistent. It's not that she's never made mistakes, but I don't think I've ever seen her fall twice in the program. Absolutely heartbreaking to watch, and she cried. I'm not used to seeing her cry. She's the sunshine girl, and it was very, very heartbreaking. And she had one heck of a comeback in the free skate. It was absolutely lovely. She had one little mistake on her Lutz, I think, where her edge went very inside, but like, it was beautiful to watch. And I don't think I've ever been that nervous watching her skate, because I knew that she couldn't make a single mistake for her to make it on the podium, and she needed a podium finish to make it to the finals. Second, third should be good enough for her to make it to the finals. Wakaba Higuchi did that with a silver bronze last season, so I think she should be good to go. And if it comes down to a tiebreaker, she has a really high score from Skate America. So I think she's more or less certain. I mean, there are definitely ways that she won't make it, but I feel like I just feel like she will be there. Something really drastic has to happen for that to be the case, I think. Other than those three, I really like Luna Hendricks. I think she was absolutely wonderful in both the short and the free skate. Granted, again, there were mistakes, but I thought she was really, really great. She's definitely one of those skaters I really enjoy to watch, and I never expect her to medal anywhere, but she's really, really enjoyable. So yeah, Hanul Kim, another really good skater. Didn't play super high, placed 7, but I think she has beautiful lines. She has such smooth skating. Absolutely nice. And even me guessing Rika Hongo for 3rd place didn't save her at all. She finished 10th after a horrific short program and also not a good free skate. There were a lot of mistakes there, but I still enjoy her skating. Rika Hongo will always be one of my angels. Just wonderful skater. Yeah. I think that's it for the girl. Oh, Yuna Shirawa. I completely forgot to talk about her. She was one hell of a ride. I was so shocked by her how much I feel like she's improved, because I remember watching her last year and I didn't really feel anything. She felt very much like more of the same, very much like a standard Japanese girl skating, and I did not expect her to ever really make that much of a splash, because I just, there was nothing about, like, and like when I saw Kaori for the first time in Wakaba, I had this feeling of, wow, they're amazing skaters, and I can't wait to see more. With Yuna, it's like, I don't mind her, but there's nothing that special for me about her. Her short program was absolutely phenomenal. I'm very skeptical about the music. I don't know what to think about it. It's very rare that I really don't like music, but I think both Yuna and Alina, I don't like their music, but they make the program worth it. Her free skate, on the other hand, I think I prefer her free skate. Definitely prefer the music at the very least. I think it's really, really cool that she has a triple loop as her very, very last element. I think it's so cool to end on something that's not a spin. I have the same feeling when I watch Boyang skate, because he always ends his short programs with a step sequence, and having a program end on a jump is absolutely amazing, because it's so far in, like, you just have to put it in the second half to get that 10% bonus, but she puts it at the very, very end of a 4-minute program. It's absolutely amazing. I feel like she was still a little bit underscored, but I don't think if she'd gotten 1 or 2 more points in her presentation would have made any difference. I mean, even from the scores you can see she was 6 points behind Kaori, who she skated just lights out, absolutely amazing. But that's enough about the women. I talked about that for 10 minutes, and oh boy, the men's event. The men's event was so far from my prediction, I can't even. I mean, my 3 medalists all finished in the top 5, but definitely not how I predicted it. Let's start with the 2 people who didn't make the podium, who I thought were gonna. We can start with Boyang Jin. First of all, I love his programs. I've seen some things here and there that they aren't that, people don't really connect with them as much, and I guess I could see that, but I really, really enjoy his short program especially. I think it's so much fun. I think he's really connecting with the audience, and he's displaying so much more personality than he did in his first couple of seasons, and I think it's just really great. It's really a shame that he missed the combination, or not missed it, but he made mistakes in it, because he did do it despite having a horrible landing on the quad lut. So absolutely, how on earth he decided to put that triple toe on the end, that was some decision, but I mean, I guess do what you can. Watching his free skate was heartbreaking. It was not quite as emotionally harrowing for me as it was in Milan, because in Milan I was there. He fell so many times, and it was just, here he fell 4 times, that's 1 time less. It was horrible to see. I really don't like it when he makes mistakes, because you could see that the mistakes, like, even though you could see, like, he didn't lose confidence, he kept going with the program, but the fact that he fell so much, it took down his speed a lot, and I felt like the transitions that are already kind of missing from his programs, not kind of, they are missing from his program, they fall way even more, because he has to take time to get back to the speed, so he has to use even more crossovers. And it really hurt the program in a way that wasn't necessarily his fault, because he really connected well with the best of his abilities. You can see that he's improved so much. Like, really, I implore you to go back and watch his How to Train Your Dragon free skate from the Grand Prix finals, because there's a world of difference. But it was really heartbreaking to see that he fell so many times, and it really only was because everyone else had so many mistakes that he kept in the top 5. And I mean, I think technically he could still make it to the finals if he won gold, but like, I think it's a far cry. He's up against Nathan next time, and Nathan is such a wild card because with his shield and all that. I talked about this last time too, I think. But I think his his Grand Prix final chances are out the window. Mikhail Kolyada. Oh, Mikhail, I had really hoped he'd win, and then he did that in the short program, and I lost all hope. It was, his programs are lovely, by the way. I love his programs. I love his program. His short program is like this perfect mix of his Elvis medley from last season and his short program from last season, because it has the same like attitude, like with the rock, but it also has this smooth, subtle elegance that his short program had. It's such a perfect mix between it. It really plays to his strengths. And the program was absolutely lovely, but the jumps just weren't there. And then the free skate, the free skate had, I felt like it had fewer mistakes just on the whole, but it just wasn't enough for him to overtake anyone. Really, I mean, he overtook Boyang, but like, that was more Boyang's fault than Mikhail's doing, I think. It was just, I had really hoped for it, because I mean, even the 3 other categories, we had all Russians winning, so Mikhail kind of broke them all there. But for the winners now, the second person I said will be on the podium was Yusuru Hanyu, because Yusuru Hanyu, it's very rare for him to not finish on a podium. I had not expected him to win. I had expected for him to bond the short program and then have to make a comeback in the free skate. He broke world record in the short program, in the free skate, and in the total score, so I was completely wrong about that. I'm really sorry, Hanyu. That was not good of me. But his programs were really great. There were mistakes in both of them, and again, he wasn't, despite breaking 3 world records, he was not happy with those results. Which is fair. He's changed his layout in the show program to put the quad toe triple axle in, quad toe triple axle, oh dear lord, we're not getting there yet. The quad toe triple toe in the second half. I think right now I prefer how the layout was an Autumn Classic, but I think it's because he doesn't really have this new layout down yet, and he has said, like, because he said in Autumn Classic he didn't want to change where that combination was. But then at some point during, like, between Autumn Classics now, he has realized that what's most important to him is actually winning, because, you know, he's a competitor and all that, so he moved it. And I think he needs a little time to get used to this new layout. On the other hand, the step sequence, the new elements there, the little hop and all that, amazing. I loved it. I think the changes that are there will be great with time. But I think ultimately I loved Autumn Classics more, with the exception of the spins, of course, because they were better here now that he's been training them. For his free skate, Again, some changes. Some I loved. Some that I were missing. Was missing. Now for changes, we had new jump layout. I talked about this again last time. Triple flip, triple toe was one of the highlights of the program. It was so fluid. It was so amazingly well done. It was very, very gorgeous, and it's weird to see him do triple flips so late in the program, but it was beautiful. We had the quad toe triple axel this time. I put it in the right place. Not as beautiful. He's definitely done better attempts both in practice at Helsinki and in exhibitions in previous seasons. But he did it. He didn't fall. As he said, he stayed on his feet all the way through. And I don't know if it technically counts that he landed it since he got a negative GOE, but it was definitely a sight worth seeing. And we know that it will stay in there because he doesn't want to do doubles anymore. So he has that's the only way for him to keep to not do doubles, is either do a triple axel sequence or to do quad combinations or something crazy like that, or as some reporter suggested, a triple axel quad toe. But even used to think that was absolutely crazy, and he'd rather train his quad axel instead. So here we are. But regardless, it was still very, very enjoyable. Like, Yusu's never not enjoyable to watch. He's just phenomenal. And of course, he looked very disappointed with his scores because he really wanted to hit that 300 mark, and he was just 3 points shy, but I'm sure he'll get there with time because it's Yusu. And I mean, if this is where he is when he's not satisfied at all and with as many mistakes as he had, he's gonna hit 300 so easily. I want to talk about his triple loop as well, because just like in Hope and Legacy where he had his step sequence and then his triple flip, here he has a step sequence and then his triple loop straight afterwards, which is just absolutely amazing because you use the entire step sequence as the entry into this jump. And I mean, his triple loop is gorgeous. One of the things with the triple loop is that it almost looks like he's going for a quad and then he opens up early because he finishes the rotation so quickly. Like, you can see he gets all the way around and he just stops mid-air and just flows down. It's absolutely crazy. One thing I really miss from this program is the little move he does right in the middle. I think it's it must be halfway through. It's like what he does, the lemon thing, and he does like a layback thing. He didn't do that here. He only did the lemon thing. I don't know if that's what it's actually called, but he didn't do the layback, and I really missed that. I'm also really missing his layback spin. He's doing a layback spin. His Bielmann spin. I don't know if it's because we know he's getting stronger, and when you get stronger and get more muscle, your flexibility just kind of naturally goes down. I don't know if it's because we're at a point now where his flexibility is not at a place where it's ideal for him to do the Bielmann, or if he's just not doing it for other reasons. Because sometimes he takes it out of his programs just because he's not feeling for it. But I hope we see it come back at some point, because he's not even doing it in exhibition. I think that's a shame. Anyway, Michael Brasina, if that's how you pronounce it. I'm not actually sure how to pronounce his first name. Mikhail Brasina. Wonderful programs. I did not watch. Alright, I watched his short program at Skate America. I didn't watch his free skate. But he's great performer. I always, whenever I watch him, I'm always surprised by, one, how old he is, and by how good he is, because I always feel like sometimes I'm like, I kind of forget him, and then he comes back and he's like, wow, Brezina, he's so good. So I was really happy for him as well, and he's definitely clinched his place in the finals. I think rocker skating did this, there is this really specific way for him to not make it to the finals, but it's never gonna happen, I think. So he's definitely there, which is incredible. He was not part of my list of people who could make it to the finals, so great for him. And he definitely deserved it. It was absolutely wonderful to see him skate. And he had, in the free skate, he had it so hard, he had to follow Yusu. So he did well for what he was working with. Third place, Junwan. Oh my god, my baby boy. I'm so happy for him. 2/3 does not guarantee him a place in the finals at all, but he's definitely in the running. We have had instances in the past couple of years where 2 bronze medals was enough in the men's event to get to the finals. In the women's, it's definitely not enough. In the men's, anything could happen. So he's definitely a contender, but it's a little iffy. I think there's like a 25% chance he's gonna get to the finals. But it would be great if he did. Now, Junwon had 2 assignments in a row. And 2 assignments in a row is really, really difficult, because especially when they're so far apart, like just physically so far apart, because you have the plane and you have jet lag and all of that, so it's just hard. And he skated with cold, a flu, some illness. If you saw him in the press conference, he was coughing a lot, he was drinking tea constantly, he could barely talk. It was absolutely amazing that he did so well for someone who was feeling so badly. The short program was definitely not up to his usual standard. He made a couple of mistakes. His LUTs this week has not been great. Flat, barely outside. So and he just, one of the things I really noticed even before in USL, he doesn't get this competition he didn't get the elevation on his jumps that he usually does. Especially on his edge jumps, I feel like they were very, not very small, but definitely small. You could definitely see it in his quad sal and the free skate. Like, as soon as he took off from that, I knew it was way too low for him to get to land that perfectly. So I saw that, I was like, he fell. I was like, yeah, I saw that coming from miles away, because it was just there was a pop missing, and the fact that he was ill probably explained. I took it as fatigue. But I think the illness really had a lot to do with it, because if you're dealing with a sore head, like how are you gonna jump perfectly? It was absolutely amazing how he did that. But he's still a great performer. Especially his short program, I love it so much. I find myself humming it all the time. And I think, weirdly, even though Yusu is my favorite skater of all time, Yusu is absolutely amazing. He set 3 world records. Like, he was practically perfect in the short program, and though not perfect in the free skate, close to it. Junwon was still the highlight of this competition for me. Junwon, he's just improved so much, and the fact that he's up there playing with the big guys. He's come out of practically nowhere. Like, yeah, sure, we knew him from that season, but I feel like that was mostly because, he was the top male Korean skater, and the Olympics was in Korea. So it's just so weird to see him up here just getting medal after medal. Like, this is his 4th medal, his 4th competition. He has not missed the podium at all this season. Absolutely incredible. It can't even, like, and his short program, his free skate is great. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like the music cuts, but I feel like it works ridiculously well, because I think the remix part is really, really great when you compare it to the classical, the usual soundtrack of Romeo and Juliet that you usually use, because that feels a lot like the usual program to me. The first usual Romeo and Juliet, which is one of my favorite programs. So the fact that he has the other bits in there that's very, very different, it sets his program apart as a new Romeo and Juliet, and I love it a lot. It's really, really great. It wasn't his best performance of it. I felt like there was a little disconnecting, and again, I'm gonna put it down to his illness and fatigue, and just, I mean, he's been working so hard, because he wasn't he came in both these times as a substitute, I believe. So he's had 4 competition in a relatively short amount of time. Like, he had Autumn Classic, Finlandia Trophy, Skate Canada, and then Helsinki in the span of 5 or 6 weeks. Absolutely ridiculous how he's managed to keep this level of his skating. Very, very impressed by him, and definitely the highlight for me. I really, really hope he makes it to the finals, because I want to see him again, and if he doesn't, then his next competition is going to be nationals, and next international competition will probably be for continents. So I really hope he makes it to the finals, just so I can see more of him, because I've always been a fan of him, but this season has just put him on a whole new level for me. It's ridiculous. I think that's the people I want to talk about. I like Keiji Tanaka as well, but he didn't have the best showing, and my stream kind of it glitched out during his free skate, so I actually, his free skate for me was really good, because it glitched out when he did his mistakes, and then I got to see a clean program, so but he has I think he has another competition coming up, so I hope he does better there, because Keiji Tanaka is like, when he makes mistakes, it's really sad, but when he skates clean, it's perfect, it's just magical. Yeah, I think that's what I have. Again, this got really, really long. Let's go to NHK Trophy, my predictions there. Let's start with the men. Uh, the men, I have a clear winner. Shoma Uno. I don't see a person who could really rival him here. Because Dmitry Aliev, has taken out his quadlets, if I remember correctly. So he's taking out some of his more his harder technical elements, and his component scores, they're not good enough to compete with Shoma's, even though he is really good on his technical side. Is also not good enough to compete with Shoma, and Shoma's consistency is also better than Dima. So I think even though Dima would, for me, probably be his biggest competition, I don't think he really has what it takes to overtake Shoma. Sergei Voronov is another competitor I think could very likely make the podium and come for another Grand Prix final. That would be incredible. But his technical content is lower, and I don't think ultimately he will be able to compete with Shoma unless Shoma should make mistakes. Not unlike Shoma to make mistakes. I don't think he hasn't had a clean free skate yet. And for some reason I doubt that he will. I think Shoma is not necessarily the most consistent guy. I can't even recall a clean free skate from him. Maybe Lombardia last season. But even Worlds in Helsinki, he had the mistake in the triplets, which I don't even understand why he was doing the triplets at that point, because he does not have an outside edge at all. But yeah, I think Shoma is a clear winner for this event. I've already talked about Dima and Sergei. I think they're very likely contenders for the podium. If Vincent Xiao can skate clean, he could contend as well, but he has major under rotation problems, and his presentation point or component scores aren't really that high. For me, I feel very hard. I have a hard time connecting with him. I feel like Vincent Xiao is definitely one of those people who are much better to watch live, because I remember during the whole season last season, I found it so hard to get into his programs, but I really enjoyed watching him in Milan. So it's a very different experience I just think Vincent is one of those people where I just find it hard to connect to him, but he does have something to give up, but it has to be live. So he's a bit I don't know for me. Another person who could really do something great here is Matteo Rizzo. Matteo is a sweetheart. He has to skate clean for him to have a chance at the podium. But he could do it. His technical content is not that high, and we know that he has the ability to skate clean, and he is a really good performer. A person I really want to see on the podium, if I could have my way, is Denis Vasilyevs. Denis Vasilyevs was another highlight for me. It was Denis Vasilyevs and Kazuki Tomono at Milan were definitely the best skaters in the men's category at the very least. Denis Vasilyevs is such a charismatic skater. His spins are so next level. I can't even his set spins. I don't even understand how he generates so much speed from those insanely difficult positions. And he it all depends on whether or not he's going for the quad, because the quad is really his nemesis, but he has to keep training it. I feel like it's only beneficial for him to keep training it and keep putting it out there, because that's really the best way to learn. And get comfortable with it as well, because a lot of the times people can land these jumps perfectly in practice, and then when it comes to competition, that's why you make mistakes, because there's nerves, there's fatigue, there's all the pressure. So keep on doing it is the way to do it. That's why Sanya is doing the triplets so much, because she needs to get comfortable with it. But if I could have my way, I don't know if this is my final predictions, but I'm gonna say they're my final predictions. Shoma Uno for first, Dmitry Aliev for second place, and then Denis Vasilyev for third place. However, Sergei Voronov and Vincent Xiao and Matteo Rizzo are very likely to make a big splash as well, depending on whether or not they skate clean and other people make mistakes. But I think especially Shoma he's a clear winner for me. He really, 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 really has to make mistakes for that to go wrong. For the women, I think we have another not as clear winner, but definitely she'll make the podium unless she completely fails. Satoko Miyahara. When Satoko skates clean, something magical happens. incredible what she can do when she skates clean. And her jumps this season look much better than last season. There are very, very, very few instances where I think her jumps are under-rotated or even close to under-rotated. Of course, she still doesn't get the height on the jumps that I prefer seeing, but she's still great, absolutely amazing. So she's definitely going to be my bet for first place. There is actually a very, very strong chance, even stronger than I felt like we had at Skate America, for a Japanese sweep at the podium, because we have also Rika Kihara and Mai Mihara. Rika Kihara, when she skates clean, has one of the highest technical content of the ladies, because she has the triple axel, in combination, and she has very, very beautiful programs as well. So if she skates clean, she could definitely make the podium as well, and she's going to be my bet for second place. For third place, my guess is between Mai Mihara and Maria Satskova. Personally, I would prefer Maria Satskova, because she is one of my favorite Russian girls. I think her free skate this season is really good. We saw it at the Russian test skates. She's skating to Summertime, and it's absolutely beautiful. When I watched her last season, there's an elegance about her that I don't see from a lot of the other Russians. And the only problem I really had with her skating is her very, very ugly Tano that goes like this. But because it's no longer a GOE bullet point, she doesn't do that anymore. And that just made her skating like 100% more enjoyable, because she doesn't do that one thing that's very, very ugly. And she comes in with this beautiful, beautiful free skate that's just absolutely breathtaking. She has consistency issues, and she has some really scary falls sometimes, but I think if she could skate even close to clean, she could definitely take a medal. And we have to remember, she is the defending bronze medalist of the final, so she's got the goods, and I really, really hope she makes the podium. But I think Mai Mihara could do it as well. Mai Mihara is a beautiful skater as well. But ultimately, I would put my money on Maria Satskova, because I think a Japanese sweep is too much of me to ask, even though I would really love it. But yeah, that's gonna be great. I don't have much else to say, because I'm not really into pairs and all that shit. Pairs and dance. With dance, it's just like all my favorite dance couples. They are either retired, split up, or not competing. Dear Shoe Seeps, come back. Yeah, this is also half an hour long, but at least this time I'm not late for school. Yeah, those are my official predictions. Let's see how wrong I am this time. But I think the field this time for both the men's and the women's are not as steep as the men's event in Helsinki, which was just still absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. That's what I have to say about that. I hope this was a little bit better, a bit more structured than the last thing I did. Also, I completely forgot to plug myself last time. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Overlady, and you can follow me at Tumblr at Fine Spiral for all your figure skating content. I live blog all the competitions for the men and the women, and I reblog a lot of figure skating content and give my opinions on a couple of things. Sometimes I write pieces about the programs at my Tumblr, so you can follow me there. I'll put all of those little things in the description. And yeah, I think that's so. You can like this video if you like anything I had to say. Leave in the comments below what you thought of Helsinki and what your predictions for NHK are. And until next time, bye!